So, as you guys can probably hear, there's a mariachi band in the background. In California, on the weekend, you can expect to hear a mariachi band in the neighborhood. I literally think that's actually just in somebody's backyard. They have mariachi bands play in the backyard of my neighbor's house pretty regularly. It seems like every 2 months or something, maybe at least. It actually could be like every 6 weeks. I don't know. That one that you're hearing is not my neighbor, but it is a residential. And, you know, well, first I hate the music. I hate mariachi. like, are you like, hello? It's the same thing over. It's like circus music, okay? But also, if there was a band of American music being played like that, no way, no, it's not gonna last. You're not gonna be able to pull that off, like constantly, right? Like you're not gonna be able to pull that off every 6 weeks. You might be able to do it once or twice, but if it becomes a pattern, your neighbors are like, no, you're not just playing your band. But for these guys, hey man, they're in the nation, they're free now. Let them have their freedom now, you know? Let them have their freedom. White people, Americans, no, you don't get to have your freedom. No. It's a shame. Anyway, we're still smoking some Angry Cornish men. And my elder, the same elder that gave me the pipe tobacco, he gave me a butane lighter. So now we're good. Bought some fuel on the way over here. And we're set up. So let's get the rip. Just in time for the mariachi to shut up. We're probably just hitting the Modelo, and I'm going to get right back to it. So, Don Lemon arrested, huh? Don Lemon. Don Lemon arrested. Man, this is back like late 2000s or something. I made a Thug Life video. I know Thug Life, but back then Thug Life's were it. We did a lot of Thug Life videos, and I got a good amount of views. And I was not where I am politically, but I did one. It was an interview that with him and Eric Metaxas. And this is back when Hillary was running. And we found out about all the baby parts being sold and all this from Planned Parenthood. Which, whatever happened with that, dude? Like, hello? How are they still operating? So he was saying how, you know, if you want to be involved with the party that's, you know, selling baby parts, you know, you vote Democrat and Hillary. So I made a thug off of that. I thought that was good. And Don Lemon was the interviewer. But I had no idea who Don Lemon was. And still after that, I really didn't care or think too much about him, right? Like he's obviously a fart nugget. But then you have, now that he's arrested, you have all these journalists, these news agencies coming out with their comments about it, right? Which is, of course, yeah. Coming out defending him, of course, especially the leftist ones, which is most of them. And what are they saying, right? It sets a bad precedent. Uh-oh. Don't go start arresting journalists now. Is that what you guys want to do? You want to start imprisoning journalists? Is that what you want to do? Is that what you want to have happen in our country? I say, hey, you guys start arresting journalists when your administration's in office. We'll just wait till ours gets in office. And this is supposed to be some sort of appeal to, American fairness, American justice, and, freedom for the press type of a thing, right? They're appealing to this freedom of the press. But it's all backwards. It's all backwards. It's all. Let me explain to you. First and foremost, the fact that he does journalism or did news anchoring or has a YouTube channel and did press is one thing, okay? It's another thing altogether to do what he did, where he is colluding with, he is in operation with, he's a part of a premeditated, systematic event. If he's a journalist that shows up or is driving by and finds out about this and runs in with a camera to make a news story about it, that's one thing. But if he's a part of the whole thing from the beginning, that's something altogether different. No, he wasn't a part of it from the beginning. It might not have been his actual organic idea, but he was a part of it before it ever happened. And there's videos talking about, okay, so that's something completely different than freedom of the press, okay? And second of all, when the left talks about this, it's a threat, right? It's a threat. If you do this, when we get into power, we're going to be doing this too. Well, first of all, of course you are. Of course you're going to do this. You have already done this. You do this. You arrest Trump. You arrest all these people. You break the laws all the time to stop our political advancement. So you're going to do it regardless. And also, they don't care about the law. That's not what this is about. This is not about the law and the freedom of the press. No, this is about political agenda, political advancement, political, political, goals and achievements. So, the fact of the matter is that we have to be the party that when rules are broken, consequences are paid. They're not that party. They're the party of when their agenda is being thwarted, they bring on the law. That's what they do always. So this is just what they always do. So don't take it some big. It's all empty, or it's all just them showing their true colors. It's just who they are. This is what they do. Okay. So we can just ignore that. We can ignore that, and we can enjoy the yelping and the screeching and the whatever, because it doesn't matter. What they're saying doesn't matter. It's just going to happen, and that's it. It's going to be what it's going to be. Now, I also want to address something else. Somebody in my comment section mentioned Christianity being some sort of like psyop thing, some sort of like manipulation on the white man, right? Bring the white man down. And I've heard about this. There are like white essentialists, like race essentialists, that believe that Christianity is a Jewish collusion to, destroy the white man. I'm not really representing it correctly, I'm sure, but I just want to touch on, I just want to kind of tease out a little bit of that, okay? First of all, I'm going to give you some of the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say that you probably have valid reasons as to why you would see it that way, okay? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because you're my brother, and I know the blessings of the grace of the gospel, and I would like it to be extended to you as much as possible. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. The Christian church is sick. The Christian church is very sick, particularly the evangelical church, but the Christian church at large, Protestant and Catholic, but I'm Protestant, Reformed Presbyterian, so I'm going to talk about that. Even the Reformed Presbyterians, they're blind to a lot of stuff that's going on right now. You see, the church, and particularly the Reformed Church, their focus is not on what's going on as much in the culture so much. Their focus is not so much on politics necessarily. Their focus isn't on the zeitgeist, right? Their focus is on their spiritual journey and the brothers and sisters around them spiritual journey that they're involved in church with. So there's generally an overall potential ignorance or naivete about certain things. So I don't think that they've recognized. You have to understand, they have not recognized the attack on white people specifically, because that is what we're talking about. But it's also an attack on Christianity, and I want you to understand this: that the people who are attacking white people, they attack them. Often, it's because of their Christian faith. Because the thing, Christian faith teaches the Ten Commandments. It teaches a certain morality that liberalism rejects, that liberalism despises, okay? Because liberalism wants to be able to do whatever it wants to do. It wants free agency. Whereas Christianity has rules and regulations, and it puts stipulations on things. And the white man at large has been the predominant, Christian witness in the world. I'm not saying it always has been. I'm not saying it always will be. I'm just saying currently that's the state of things. So you have to understand there is a war. It's against Christ, but it's also against his image bearers. Because Jesus said, if they hated me, how much more would they hate you? This is the war that the world is in. And Christians are in, and we've known that this is the way it was going to be since the beginning, because our Savior told us about this. But the liberalism you see in Christianity, the naivety, and even the fact that it's a lot of times actually churches and evangelicals will support, in a sense, the anti-white narrative. I want you to understand that that's not Christianity. Christianity doesn't teach that. Christianity isn't for that, okay? Christianity calls all men to deny themselves and pick up their cross and follow Christ. But it also teaches that nations are created, and every man, no matter the race, is a creation of God, and he created all the different races, all the different nations on purpose, and there's a purpose for it. But he doesn't condone the anti-white, anti-American sentiment that we have been facing in America. So when you see that coming from Christianity or Christians or the Christian church, I just want you to understand, it's because they are ignorant. It's because there's an overarching demonic spell upon America specifically, and obviously Europe and other Western nations. And the enemy has been doing his work. He has been ravaging the church. So, Christ is not the enemy. The church necessarily is not the enemy, per se. But she is sick. And I think we're seeing a revitalization. I think we're seeing some healing happening. We're seeing voices stand up. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to see where the church is in the coming decade or so. And say, oh, coming decades or so, do we even have that? You know? There are churches that are like on it right now. Okay, there are churches that are on it right now. Right Response Ministries, Joel Webben, they understand. The King's Hall podcast, Ogden, they're on it. They understand. But the Greater Church of America, they're going to take a minute, I think. But I think it's being exposed and it's coming out. And so you can find a church like this, you can find a church, but at the end of the day, the important thing is to surrender to Christ and let him be king, rule over you, and take heed of what he says over and above what anybody else says. Because he's the only one who can save your soul. Fear the one who can condemn both the body and the soul. Man can only condemn the body, but God can destroy the body and soul. Look, if you can come here to hear the gospel, fine, whatever. But I mean, I'm a Christian. I value my faith more than anything, above anything, everything. So there's not going to be any persuading me of this. When you come out with some pagan ideology of race essentialism and that my faith is a psyop, you can't understand, I suppose, how truly in depth my faith is to me, what it means to me, what it's done for me in my life. You can't understand that. I'm not going to give my whole spiel right now. Let's just say I was destitute. I was in the depths, okay? And Christ brought me out of that. And he did so by revealing to me that I'm a sinner and that I have been serving as a sinful, wicked master, one who hates me. I was serving Lucifer, and he said, serve me. My yoke is light. My burden is easy. Well, it's nice to hear silence and the Roman Mariachi band. I don't know if there's much else to say in this video. I appreciate the responses. I hope that more people will engage with me. I do appreciate the engagement. I will continue to have engagement. And, if you can prick me good enough with your comment or question, maybe you'll hear it in one of my videos if you care. Not that you care, but it gives me something to talk about when I'm out here enjoying my angry Cornishman, which I have another flavor I need to try. Super glad I got the lighter. Super blessed. Thank you, Elder. You guys need elders. Elders, they'll hook you up. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. It's a beautiful night. It is a beautiful night, especially without the mariachi band, dude. It is a beautiful night. Thanks for watching, guys.